to ask the Scottish Executive what recent discussions it has had with Historic Scotland regarding the former Odeon cinema on Clark Street, Edinburgh.
Following the issue of the decision refusing listed building consent on the 21st of May 2010, there have been no bilateral meetings between the Scottish Government and Historic Scotland about the Odeon cinema site.
Sarah Boyle.
Can I thank the Minister for her answer? The Minister may be aware that the owners have resubmitted their controversial plans for the Odeon to the Council after failing to find a buyer, but there are real concerns amongst the community, potential buyers and arts group that the guide sale price of £2.93 million did not reflect the deterioration and dilapidated state of the Odeon. Minister, in your last letter to me in November, you advised that Historic Scotland has indicated that due to the volatility of the market and the lack of recent sales and comparables, a set price may be inappropriate. In the light of these comments and the Community Council petition to save the Odeon, which has now collected over 4,000 signatures, will the Scottish Government now intervene to save this important building?
Minister.
I think the member, as a former minister, will be familiar with some of the rules, particularly in relation to planning applications. If there is a live application currently with the Council, the matter is currently with the Council for determination. But she will also be familiar with the process in which there may be reference in the future to Historic Scotland. So I think you have to reflect where we are in the process in terms of the application that is currently before the Council. As of yesterday, no decision, I understand, had been I understand there's no decision currently been made in the recent few days, so therefore I think she has to appreciate that we have to abide by the process, the due process in this area. Can I say I am quite aware of her and other MSPs' concern about this building, but as I answered in my first question, that listed building consent was refused on the 21st of May 2010, and that was the last time there was involvement by Scottish ministers in that particular case.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Can I associate myself with the remarks already made by Sarah Boyack? The Minister should already be aware that there is great concern within the community that the developers are using an overinflated price as a ploy to ensure that no one can actually buy this property and keep it in the design that we need to save. Because of that concern and the use of Historic Scotland in the past to facilitate some of the discussions on this, could the Minister do all she can to ensure that Historic Scotland and the Scottish Government can once again get behind this campaign and ensure that we save the Odeon in its current state?
Minister.
Can I also put on record my acknowledgement of Shirley-Ann Somerville's firm interest in this case. She invites me to provide Historic Scotland and the Scottish Government support for a campaign. I think she has to reflect, I ask all members to reflect that ministers are not in a position to be able to support a campaign when they might have to have decisions to take in reference to a listed building consent. We have those procedures that we have to follow. Can I say that in this instance, the ball is firmly in the Council's responsibility in terms of their decision at this point in time, but I do recognise the efforts made, and indeed the local campaign group have kept me informed of their activities, but it would be wrong for me to take a decision that would prejudge a decision of Scottish ministers in the future if one came before us.